coming.
Hi everybody, it's Isabel and I am at Collect. It's the Friday. It's my last day here and I'm delighted to have you here. I hope you can hear me. It's quite busy today. It's public view. Yesterday we had preview, today is public view. So I am going to turn the camera because my first guest is Veruna Konlanetu and she is from Ruup Form. So let me turn the camera now. Here is Veruna.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Veruna.
Am I audible? Good to go?
I think that we can hear you fine. Let me just check the chat. Perfect. So, Veruna, you are the founder of Ruup Form, which is a fantastic gallery. You commission work, and you've commissioned a specific collection for Collect this year. Can you tell us a little bit about the curatorial?
Gladly. First of all, thank you for being here, and I'd love to take you through what we've done. So with Ruup Form, we do curatorially approached exhibitions. With every exhibition, it is about having a dialogue around a theme. With this particular one, it was called Memories, or Memories Live Here. And on that premise, about 10 months ago, we started this series with 14 artists where we went back to them and they have collaborated with us and come up with different ideas. Memories runs deep and some of them can be real, some of them can be confabulations. I think memories are culturally based, some of them could be deep hidden, or it could come from a different part of the society that could not even be yours. So it's such an interesting topic and so varied that every artist has responded to it differently, but still there's something so close to their heart that it's very easy for anyone to connect with these works because they are truly from an aspect of an artist's space. I'm glad I'm going to tell you at least about some of the works, but I'm sure if you were to see them by itself, they would still pull at your strings without me telling too much about them.
That's fantastic. So we're going to have a look at 3 specific artists.
That's right.
We're going to see some silver work. We're going to see some ceramic and some textile.
We're going to finish it off with mixed medium and textile as part of it. So if we would, I think the best place to start off is Anne.
Okay, so we're going to start with ceramics because there are a lot of people around here. It's a fair after all.
Yes.
And as you can see,
and it's good and
live.
nice and busy.
We are live. We really are live here.
Sorry. I need to introduce to you Anne Butler's work, which is called, this particular piece is called Shift. Right next to it is Stack. Shift and Stack belong to a series called Objects in Time, and they are made of thin sheets of porcelain laid onto one another. They've been created to almost mimic a real piece of memory, a ghost-like memory taken from the artist's own childhood, a typewriter, which a lot of us can identify with. What is interesting about your work?
Fewer can identify.
That's true. That's true. But some of us still can.
That's true.
I think one of the things I love about Anne's work is that she is very diverse. She tries the material. She loves the material. So she keeps experimenting with it. And this shows a lot of braveness to work with porcelain in such a format, in these thin sheets and running them through kilns. As you can see, almost defying gravity, sitting heavily on one end and a lighter on other end with these thin, fine movements. I think one of my favorite thing about this is somebody asked me if it was made out of whipped cream. I think that might have been my favorite one so far. But one of the best things I love about this piece is as the sunlight hits it, it almost looks like silk. Stack again, and responds a lot of her work to archaeological studies about mankind. So she's picked up these particular books specifically. Each book is been put as part of the stack for a good reason. And I mean, there are names that some people might be able to
What are the
recognize. Unfortunately, that one's Latin, so I can't remember that one. But there are definitely books that are based on anthropology and ledgers that are done by over time by philosophers. I think one of the things that I do again with her work, this one is like we wanted to show these two pieces together because it did look like we'd caught a moment in the middle of a thought, like someone just got up in the middle of research and left the room with just these images behind this. What I would like to also want you to do is have a look at it from the behind, and that'll give you a sense of how hard and the detail that has gone into it, including the books, the cracks and crannies that come through, and for the graph sheet is part of the other written journals.
It's a little difficult to see because
the lighting is just
that's fantastic. So your second artist is in sterling silver.
That's it. I would like you to show Claire Mallett's work today. Claire, a goldsmith artist, and as well on the Home of Faber list. She created these three pieces called Places in Time for the specific exhibition. Her work is deeply based on the landscapes, and she associates a lot of being out in the landscapes in the countryside. Each of these have a strong boulder as part of the silverware, and they've been picked up on our walks, on our journeys in the past year. For example, this one comes from the Caleb Tongue, which is in Scotland. This is River Wader, which is in Wales, and that's Somerset on to your right. What she has done is almost take the concept of memory. Let's, for example, in this piece of stone, which has taken about a million years to form, and create silverware on top of it that relates and contrasts and gently kind of reminds you of the gentleness of the place she's picked it. If you were to Google River Raid, you would see the waterfall and the flint come through. Or if you were to Google Kyle of Tongue, you are going to get the softness of the sculpture she's created. So I think the fact that she's not only taken a memory and created another memory, but she's also has related to it in a form of almost responding to it, to the nature itself. But one of the most interesting things about Claire is that in each piece you will find...
I'm just going to come close.
Yes, please. In each piece, she's put like a geocaching, so the exact place where she picked up this particular piece from. So if you own this piece, you can go and discover exactly where this beautiful stone was picked up to create this sculpture.
I think it's a wonderful commission also to place. You could place a commission and send a stone from a place that is close to your heart, important to your family.
Absolutely.
Give her the
coordinates.
The coordinates, yeah.
I think that's such a beautiful idea. And we do commissions with Claire, and she's one of my favorite artists to do it with because she loves to think out of the box. She likes to think from different people's perspectives. So yeah, for sure. That sounds really interesting.
That's
to do with her.
And your last artist?
We are going to show you Isabel Dordsberg. Isabel Dord
While we walk past, I just want to show this wonderful installation.
Beautiful installation by
I'm going to come close and look at the shadows and the work. This is wood. It's an installation in wood. Steam
bent beechwood.
It's amazing.
If you take an angle from the side, you'll get this how deep the depth of it. The artist is Naomi McIntosh, and her inspiration were clouds. She wanted to create an installation that had no beginning, no end, just gentle movement from one place to the other. And that's what it does. And the shadows were definitely put in there to remind us of clouds. So here is Isabel Dord's Forever piece. It is a stunning sculpture that she's created for Collect, Ruup Form for us here. It is sticking to our ethos of only using foraged leaves and plants with stunning composite textile flowers that she makes with textile. These are hand stitched with a lot of patience and time to get the densities and the depending on the shapes she wants to create. I would love to tell you how this installation has come about. So going back to memories, Isabel Dodd went back to a childhood memory of hers. Her father is a vicar, and so she grew up next to a church and a cemetery. And what she loved to do as a 10-year-old was to go to the cemetery and decorate graves. And she would take flowers from a grave that might have too many and put it on graves that had not been seen for a while. Or from the church, if there was a wedding, and then take them to the graves and decorate the graves. And over time, she started decorating one particular grave of a 10-year-old girl. I think it's Liliane. And that particular grave, she would decorate with flowers and with grass and just foliage and ivies that she had picked from around her surroundings. I think this is to go back to a memory that at that young age, she almost realized how life and death were not in anyone's control, and they were inevitable and almost go hand in hand. The white ghost-like flowers are almost memories of flowers that will be. But what is extraordinary about this installation is that over time, the foraged leaves will go dry and the ghost-like artificial textile flowers will be the one that will be living. So it is a conversation of what is life and what is death. It's an installation that has moved many as people have walked by, and I think just the smell of having foliage, fresh foliage, and this bright white flowers, which have been confused many a time for being ceramic.
Yes, I thought they were porcelain.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I did.
But I think Isabel is just this fine artist who is delicately works and creates these beautiful sculptures. I would like to show you one of her sculptures that she does without the foliages, which would be this one, which is called Tulips in Dome.
I'm going to take it from the other side.
Yes, I think there's a lot of perfect.
So this is a big piece.
Yes, absolutely. And again, because her ethos is to not spend on new materials, she's used a vintage glass dome.
I thought it was porcelain too.
Fabulous. One delicately done so differently, like every flower would be.
It's amazing.
Her work is absolutely stunning. It has already, I see people walk in and smile and have a joy to it. An absolute delight to have here as well.
It's fantastic. I'm just going to check, before we sign off, I'm going to check, no, don't go away.
Oh, I'm not.
I was just going to check if there are any questions. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat, because as you know, I'm a little blind here. Yes. I don't think that we have any questions right now. So,
well, if there's any, please do give us a shout and or us or Isabel, and we were more than happy to
fabulous.
connect.
Oh, what material are the flowers? So we didn't share that.
They're a composite textile called neoprene, which they would use in wetsuits.
Yeah, that's right. It's a foam-like.
It's a foam-like thing, yeah. And I think that she's only using and she's stitching them themselves. So it's the pull and the strength of a thread that's creating the movement of the petals.
It's amazing. Yeah, someone yesterday was asking if it was machine stitched or hand stitched, and it's definitely hand stitched.
It takes a lot of patience to be Isabel Dodd, that's for sure.
Great. Thank you so much, Verena.
Thank you.